Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So our next video is from Turning Points USA and it says Candace Owens honest message to gender studies major. Gender studies. So someone will go to school, you spend hundred thousands of dollars, or you spend $100,000 for you to go to school to study gender studies. Like seriously, gender studies. Nothing else again apart from gender studies. Let's check this out.
What you guys are living through is such a unique time in this country. I would say it's an awful time to be a college student. Like when I was a university student, I was a liberal. My best friend in the entire world was a conservative. Her family was conservative. I used to go out for dinners with them. Like every weekend, we'd drive out to Massachusetts because I went to school in Rhode Island, and I'd have dinners, and I would debate her dad, who was a conservative, and I'd say all the liberal things, and how could you not think that, immigrants deserve a life, whatever it was, and it was all cool. There was no name calling. There was no you're a this, you're a that. So I just want you guys to be aware of that, knowing that the experience that you guys are having in classrooms has been radically transformed since the time that I went to school. So I graduated high school in 2007, not that long ago. I'm not exactly a dinosaur, but college campuses have completely shifted. The majors that you have were not available. I was shocked going through the catalog and seeing, wow, they're just making stuff up. They're having fun. I feel like they are having fun deciding what programs to allow students to just burn their cash on. I think that's an accurate way to say it. I mean, why else would you go to school and major in something like gender studies? And I'm not saying that to discount the fact that somebody might be interested in the subject. I'm just saying, realistically, have you paused and considered, if you go to university for 4 years and you accrue debt? I'm assuming a lot of people here took out student loans. Like I took out student loans. When I was in school, it was about $35,000 a year out of state. So I'm just thinking, what kind of a person would be encouraged to go to university, to spend that kind of money, to potentially come out of university with 6 figures or close to 6 figures of debt, like I had, and not really realize that there's not really a job that you can take with that sort of a major. What is the job? What is the job? You say, I've studied, I've got all A's, it's amazing, I did so great, I studied gender studies. What do you?
So for gender studies, like seriously? And you cannot defend a woman. Oh God, gracious Lord, good Lord, hit the reset button again. Hit it very well.
A complete and utter scam. That's what you are actually actively being scammed, and you're not going to realize it until you get out into the real world and you find that actually the only job that's going to be available for somebody that takes up that sort of a major is to go right back into the ecosystem. A professor, right? A professor and teaching the same subject that earned money to other students. I actually think that people should be outraged by that. And by the way, people are outraged by that. What ends up happening is a lot of these students go into real world, they find that they can't take a job, and they can't find a job, they can't earn any money because they're not actually creating a meaningful job. Like they're not actually doing something that people need, right? And they learn very quickly what the free market suddenly means. Maybe the economics courses that they weren't taking, suddenly they recognize it when they get into the real world and they go, boom, now I have all this debt, I can't get a job, and I'm angry. And they're not quite sure who they should be angry at, right? And then they look at somebody like somebody that they went to high school with who didn't go to university, and instead that kid who was basically trained to believe that he was going to be a loser, because we all feel that pressure. I definitely felt that pressure. That's why I signed up for so many ridiculous student loans to go to university. Go, go, go. Even if you don't know what you want to do, sign up and just go. You'll figure it out when you get there. You got your guidance counselor telling you that, the entire society is sort of blaring to you that if you don't go to college, then you are a failure. And then there's that one kid that didn't listen to that, and maybe he went to trade school, right? And that kid has, therefore, no debt. He immediately started working. Maybe he fixes, I don't know, air conditionings. And now he's the person. And let me tell you something. If you live in a place like I live in Tennessee, you will pay any amount of money if your AC goes out in July or August in any of those hot months. Suddenly that guy's making 6 figures. He's got no debt. And then you weigh that against the people who are convinced that they're getting the education, that they're supposed to be so much better than this person who have massive amounts of debt. It's a total flip-flop and it's a scam.
Okay, is it not better you take a biology major than a gender studies major? But they won't because they feel it's too hard for them. See guys, see sometimes I do wonder why people will waste their money to go to school. I know it's good to go to school, just go to school, but sometimes to me, if you go to school, what are you really learning? Are you there to learn something? How will someone go to school to learn gender studies? Like your parents pay a huge sum of amount for you to study, to become someone useful to the society and to your community at large, to your parents at large, to make them proud. You go there to study gender studies. What do you want to use gender studies for? Okay, you're studying gender studies, you cannot even define what a woman is. No one, you cannot. Like seriously. Or are you just going there because people are going there, or like, how are people thinking? Gender studies. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like, watch and subscribe to my channel, and have a wonderful day ahead. Bye bye.